In our case, we actually do the exploration work. So the shareholders of Riverside aren't diluted at the corporate level, but at the project level, the group coming in has the option to earn into it. So it's other people's money, exploration, and the upside for us is that we own a piece of the upside and we don't have the downside.
Welcome to In It to Win It. This is Steve Barton, and thank you for tuning in. We are here at the 2025 Rule Symposium in Boca Raton. I'm back with John Mark Staude of Riverside Resources. John, thank you for coming back on the show.
Steve, great to be back on the show.
Pleasure is all on this side of the table. Okay, let's give us your elevator pitch for Riverside Resources. Include market cap, cash, and debt.
Riverside has a small market cap of $11 million. We have 75 million shares out. We have $4 million cash. We have no debt.
Okay, $4 million cash, $11 million market cap.
And that's Canadian.
That's Canadian. Okay, and absolutely no debt.
75 million shares out.
Okay. You guys are a prospect generator. For viewers that don't know, give them kind of a 101 rundown of what a prospect generator is.
So a project generator is a corporation that goes out to find projects. We go and do that ourselves, and then we find partners to de-risk the properties. By finding those partners, in our case, we actually do the exploration work. So the shareholders of Riverside aren't diluted at the corporate level, but at the project level, the group coming in has the option to earn into it. So it's other people's money, exploration, and the upside for us is that we own a piece of the upside and we don't have the downside. If the project comes back to us, what we have done is then bundle that up into new businesses. That's a little twist on the project generator, and Riverside always retains a royalty. So Riverside is a project generator doing these different projects where we find partners to spend the money, but we always retain a royalty at the end of it.
Okay, so you basically get rights to the property.
Yes.
You have a company like BHP come in and drill it out for you. And after you are able to keep that information and you keep a little royalty on the project.
100%,
is that right?
exactly.
Okay.
And if BHP has not, in our case, spent $10 million to earn into it, then we get the property back. Okay. Some people say that's a failure. I call that a success. Because if we have that property back, now we have $10 million or $9 million, because they didn't get to $10 million, of spending on the ground, and I can decide maybe there's something there. Yeah. Maybe it might be for a smaller company, maybe for a different commodity, maybe something else. It didn't work for BHP at that time, but maybe BHP changed for a different reason, not because of the project itself.
Yeah, okay.
So we have found that over time, the projects often come back, the market volatility. So that's why the project generator model is one of the best ways to conduct early stage mineral exploration.
Yeah. You don't have to raise money to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really
they pay for it.
So we haven't had to raise money since prior to COVID.
Nice. Okay.
So no warrant overhang.
Huh. Okay. What is so you used to work for BHP, you used to work for Rio Tinto, you used to work for Teck. Maybe tell them what is your experience that relates to what you're doing now, and what is your team's experience that relates to what you're doing now?
Perfect. So I actually started off as a translator working for the U.S. Geological Survey in Mexico, studying the ore deposits of Mexico, and built out the Mexican database for the U.S. government 40 years ago.
Huh.
Yeah, 35 years ago. So in 1987, 1989, and then I built a whole portfolio and did this work for my PhD at the University of Arizona in the ore deposits and metallurgy of Mexico and Arizona, and completed that in 1995. I then published that in academic journals and did work and joined working with Magma Copper for 3 years, and then with BHP for another 10 years, and also with Rio Tinto and eventually with Teck, doing mineral exploration where we had work on copper, gold, silver, these different commodities. Then I founded Riverside. I've been doing Riverside for 18 years. We only have 75 million shares out after 18 years. Not many companies have been able to run a business that long and have such a little amount of dilution. So now you look at it, for 40 years of experience, we feel we have pretty good knowledge and have had quite a few good successes along the way.
So you used to work for these big companies looking for gold, silver, and copper. Now you have your own company looking for gold, silver, and copper.
Haven't strayed very far from the straight line.
Experience that relates to the task at hand. Okay, so insider ownership. What is how much are insiders? vested partners? What percentage is available to retail? Kind of go down the.
So generally, we have 10% or insiders in management and things like that. 40% is a block that's held by European investors and funds and things like that. 28% or 25% would be held by retail, and the remainder is held by Rick Rule, Adrian Day, and investment funds in the United States.
Okay, all right. So 25% will be available
to the retail market,
to people watching this show.
And the only way to get it is to buy it in the market, because we don't do a lot of financings.
Okay. And how much do you own?
So my family controls around them about 8 to 10% in that amount.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
so it's
8
good.
to 10%. Okay. And we talked in January at the Metals Investors Forum, and what's happened? You've had a Blue Jay spinoff. Maybe kind of brush everyone up on what's happened in the last 6 months.
It was so good doing your video at the Vancouver Metals Investor Forum. Being there, and I was able to say, this is what we were going to do. What we said we were going to do was we were going to do a share split, and we did that. That share split gave shares of the spin-out company. For the second time we've done that, and that's excellent. And that new company is called Blue Jay Gold. And Blue Jay Gold is now out with a good CEO, Jordy Mark. I'm still the chairman and glad to do that. And so we've completed that just here in the month of May. Also, we've made progress on drilling and exploration in our Cecilia project, progressing that. We have that moving ahead. We also got a deal done with Quest Corp at the Union project, and now going forward, we'll be drilling there. We had a news release this week about the exploration results from geophysics, and that's progressed. And we've added now a number of projects in British Columbia. As we have spun out the Ontario, we added more British Columbia to the overall portfolio of Riverside. So we've been busy in the last 6 months, and going forward, we see a lot of good results from that.
Okay, so for people that were shareholders during that time when they got the Blue Jay spinoff, what happened? What was the mechanics of that, and how did they make money from it?
It's a great question. And so basically, as we had done with Capitan Silver as well, this case it was a 5-to-1 ratio. So Riverside having 75 million shares out, 15 million shares, or for every 5 shares of Riverside, you got 1 share in the spin-out company. The mechanics were, if your shares are registered in an account or something like that, if they weren't, if you still had them under your bed or whatever, you got a letter with this document. But otherwise, it actually was automatically transferred, and in your account, now you'll see you have JAY.V. J.V is in your account magically appearing. Yeah. So now you have shares of Blue Jay. The valuation on that was, with the last financing, was at 40 cents per share Canadian. So here is Riverside at a 5-to-1 ratio. So that's 8 cents of the value of Riverside. So here is value. Riverside was valued initially at 11 cents when we started to take this on. We had 6 cents a share cash. We still have 6 cents a share cash now, and we've unlocked that value. So now Riverside's returned in value currently now to 18 cents. Again, 5 cents or 6 cents a share cash. So you can see the value of Blue Jay was amazing. We unlocked the value, and the price of the value of the company's even gone up, although we've unlocked that value. So that's tremendous. So that's 8 cents a share times 5. So 40 cents a share is now in your account. So really good mechanics of it. Simply had to be a shareholder, and overnight it happened, and then within a week it was in your account.
Huh, okay, interesting.
And we've done this before, Capitan Silver as well, so we know how to do it, and it works really well.
Okay, so the commodities that you're going after here are one that you've spent your life studying. Gold, silver, copper, and you have a dusting of rare earths, right?
Yes.
Okay, if you had to break that down into percentages, so if someone's buying a share of it, what percentage is invested in gold, what percentage is in copper, silver, and rare earths?
So if you had to look at it, about 50% of that would be a focus on gold and silver. So gold is the big part.
Yeah.
Silver would be 10% kind of inside of that. It's gold and silver together. Then another 20% would be on copper, and then 20% would be on rare earth elements.
Okay, all right.
We have a lot more copper we could do, but we really look for partners to invest in that. We own those projects. That's why the copper is only 20%. It's good value and good projects that we've done. So we're looking for partners on that right away.
Okay, and geographically on the globe, where are you guys invested? Where are your properties? Where's everything?
Where we know. So I live in Vancouver, Canada. We're investing and working in British Columbia. We live there, we work there, we know it's good.
Yeah.
In Arizona, in the United States, in Nevada, we're doing some work, and then in Sonora, Mexico. So all along the western coast, all in the same time zone. really good area to work. So we can keep the burn rate down, the cost down. We can really put the money in the ground. That's how we've been able to operate for 18 years and continue the business to go well. So Mexico, the United States, and Canada.
Okay. Go where you know. Go where you know. Okay. What's the next project? Where are you? What's in the works? What are some catalysts?
So one thing that's worked right now is growing things in British Columbia. Super excited right now at the conference, adding other projects there and building out our portfolio in British Columbia. We really like. We staked a whole bunch, so now we're going through that the summertime. Really good. So looking forward to those results coming into the fall. A big catalyst is drill results.
Yeah.
Drilling with our partner Quest Corp is really exciting. We're drilling at the Union project. Union is a style of deposit that's very typical in Mexico. These typical Mexico, like Mag Silver and other really significant companies, are carbonate replacements. So where you have the rocks, and they're replaced with the silver and gold.
Okay.
And so that's what we're drilling into. So we're really excited about those projects that we have in Mexico at the Union project. The third thing is copper and gold as well in Mexico and some of the other projects that we have. So we see multiple projects moving ahead, particularly drilling and particularly adding in British Columbia.
Okay, those are catalysts. On the other side of the coin, what are some of the risks? What could go wrong?
So one of the key things I'm looking for is a next person to kind of come and lead, possibly the next business out of Riverside. We've done 7. It's been great. We've done these different businesses and they've been successful. So what could be the next one? So the challenge for me, it's not a risk, it's a challenge, is working to find that person. I guess the risk is that I'm not getting that person in, whatever. So we're working on that. And so that's a situation we're doing. Also working with the Mexican government. What's the Mexican government saying and doing? We have the mineral titles, we have the mineral exploration permits, and we have the drill permits. So for us, we see everything is going and we have it all together. But the risk is if the Mexican government continues to say, no this, no that, the perception is you can't do it.
Yeah.
The truth is we're able to do it. We're making it through and continue to do it, and we have been for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
So we're able to do it, but the perception, the risk is that the investors suffer by looking at the perception rather than the reality of us being able to do it. So those would be a couple of the things that we're dealing with.
Okay, everyone so far that has been in Mexico, I've been asking about Claudia Sheinbaum, their new president. What's your opinion? What is your I mean, I hear you saying that the perception is that investors see it as a lot of risk. Are you experiencing that? What do you think?
So I'm not finding it that. As I say, we're drilling right now. We're doing news. We're doing exploration. So if you look at the facts, we continue to do exploration. We were drilling last year. We're drilling this year. So that's the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is we're doing it. Claudia Sheinbaum comes from the Morena Party. The Morena Party was the same party that AMLO came from.
Yeah.
So AMLO was in president. He brought in Sheinbaum to be his successor. She won. And so I see a continuation of that type of policies, which is very helpful. If you have continuity and consistency, you can adapt and work with it as we have.
Yeah.
So we're working on proven titles, known projects, ability to move ahead. One of the things we're not trying to do is get new mineral exploration permits. We have existing permits on existing titles. We're not trying to get new titles. We're buying existing titles, cleaning them up and working on them. So working in the system, and I think that's what the government wants as well.
Yeah.
The government wants to see projects move ahead.
Yeah.
It's not anti-mining. It simply wants it to be done socially, environmentally conscious way, as anyone want to on the whole planet.
Yeah.
So following through with what's good ethics and good approaches and green light. So I see it's very positive. Also, we're working in the state of Sonora. Sonora is the mining state.
Yeah.
Kind of like being in Quebec or being in Nevada.
Yeah.
The correct state to be in is Sonora. 38% of all the mineral wealth in the country of Mexico produces right out of the state of Sonora. So we work right there. Our offices in the capital city. It's like being in Reno, Nevada, Elko, Nevada. You're right in the middle of the heart of mining for Mexico.
Okay. And the hang up, if I understand it correctly, is on new permitting, new
titles.
New titles.
So new mineral titles.
Okay.
So they don't want new mineral titles. The perception is there's already enough mineral titles out there. The truth is there's not much land truly covered by active mineral titles.
Okay.
Most of the titles have been returned and canceled,
Yeah.
and the government just has not freed up the land. That's
Okay.
the truth.
Okay.
So the truth is the mining companies don't have it. The truth is the government hasn't either just gotten rid of it and the bureaucracy has blocked it. That's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah.
But the government says we don't want to give out any more titles. Well, one thing they could do is just clean up all the titles that are sitting in limbo.
Yeah.
That would make a really big difference. But
Okay.
that's another issue.
Yeah.
And,
Not one that we're going to solve
exactly.
here today.
So that's not. But you know, when they start to free up those, that would be great for us. We have identified things we'd like to grow into,
Yeah.
but we can work, and we do work with what's available and what we can see.
Okay, but that's not an impediment right
It's
now.
not an
You guys
impediment.
are drilling away. And,
Yeah, and it's not an impediment to
and
developing
using
and
other
building
people's
mines.
money to do it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
going well. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything I should have asked that I didn't? Do you have any closing thoughts?
It's really great to be here, and one of the things we do have is rare earth elements, and I think rare earth elements are super important right now. What's happening in China with critical minerals, and that China really controls the rare earth market and rare earth elements. I think that in Canada, if we can have rare earth resources, at least to give us some optionality.
Yeah.
So if Riverside can use our technical knowledge, databases in the field to acquire more projects like our Revel project, where we have north of Revelstoke and other areas where we see good carbonatites, the typical type of rocks that have rare earth elements, then that's a real asset, not just that we're going to explore, but that we're going to own and then put into additional ventures. So I think that's one of the angles, that taking advantage of the situation and the opportunity that British Columbia and Canada has for funding these type of projects is good.
You know, I was just talking with Nomi Prinz on this, and we got to see a dusting of that when we saw the re-rating. I'm sorry, all the tariffs going out, and China controls something like 90% of rare earths, right?
Yeah.
And when tariffs were getting just thrown around like candy, there was a quick re-rating that we saw in the market of rare earths, and the fact that you have a piece of that, I think, is significant.
It is. It really is. And you know, if they have a monopoly on it, and we're going to say we're going to put tariffs on it, then things that we have here is going to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so we've been foreshadowing or seeing this is coming. China's had the majority for a long time,
Yeah.
so we've been actively acquiring and building a portfolio around that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What kind of deposit are the rare earths that you guys are looking at?
So the rare earths that we're looking at are called carbonatites, and these
Carbonatites.
Yeah, so they're basically coming from deep in the earth, along with as magmatic rocks, with these rocks that are coming from the mantle.
Okay.
As they come from the mantle, they suck up and bring up key elements. These elements aren't found at the surface. That's why they're so rare, and they're forming in minerals that we can therefore concentrate. And so that's a really interesting model type to go for, and they're actually quite economic. They're the same type of deposit that they mine in China.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
Called carbonatites.
Carbonatites, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going through geology right now, so this
That's
is
great.
interesting.
That's good. That's
Awesome.
what I do.
Well, if viewers want to get a hold of you and follow your work and follow Riverside, how can they do so?
Please come to our website. That's RIVR.TSXV. Please email us at info@rivres.com. Please, you can look us up on the internet, give us a call. We'd love to talk to any shareholders or investors.
Awesome. John,
thank you so much
for coming back on the show.
Great to be
Always
back.
a pleasure.
It's awesome.
Yes. And thank you for tuning in. Go to stevebartonmoney.com for more, and have a wonderful day.